When the dried kernels snap, bursting open like a love that cannot be silenced, they release a special powder that feeds us and teaches us how to think. Her love sounds like dried corn breaking apart, snapping open like prickly pear blossoms in the spring. The mano and the matate, they called it. For hours, the women would grind corn together, not for themselves, for others. To resuscitate a failing economy, these are the only words you will ever need to know. For others, for others, for others. Selflessness, the foundation of the traditional Navajo economy. Out in the cornfields, the plants reach up to the sky, swaying in the wind, like poets drunk on love, laughing and singing to us about beauty and providence. We sing back. We sing back. I am asking you to sing back to them with me. No matter what color skin you have, what language you speak, or where you are from, humans were made to play in the dirt. We were made to love the earth. We were made to sing to corn. Na dang corn. It's not always yellow like Monsanto tells you it should be. Sometimes it's red. Sometimes it's dark blue. Sometimes it's white. Sometimes it's speckled. To me, corn is like a god that you can hold in your hand. Divine providence. Fear and doubt gave birth to a beautiful child once, and her name was capitalism. The children of fear and doubt, they don't quite understand that all fruit of the earth hangs low to the ground. They don't understand that the willing earth will bow to meet us, the children of doubt. I don't blame them. When you come from a land where it is kill or be killed, even your mother's breasts can start to look like a brick of gold, like a shield from the war. Greed. Fear of not having enough. It is difficult to resist playing war games when everybody else is. It's hard to belt out the song of love in the face of a gun barrel. It's hard, but it's possible. I know a woman who can do it. Her name is Grandma Bessy. She's Hopi, but we raise her Navajo. She's older than me, but she plants more corn than I do. Grandma Bessy is an indigenous economist. You see, she studies the study of Indigenomics, you see. She's also an incredible businesswoman. All the people on Wall Street are trying to figure her out. Grandma Bessy. How did she become so successful and so happy? She has no credit, and yet people will build her a new home for nothing. She has no social security, and yet she's never afraid. There's no word for career in her language, and yet her belly is always full. She keeps giving all of her corn away, and yet she never runs out. She doesn't have any money, and yet she has everything she needs. She doesn't own any real estate, and yet all around Denetre, anywhere she goes, she has a home. She works 7 days a week for her people, even works overtime in the evenings, and yet she still can't wait to get up and go to work the next day. All the businessmen scratch their heads, wondering where Grandma Bessy gets it. And yet, the answer is so simple. One day I walked up to her hogan as if it was the office of Mr. Charles Schwab himself. I needed some sound economic advice. I couldn't figure out what was going wrong. So I asked her, I said, "Shema Sonne, I feel like Robin Williams. I have so much money, but I'm still sad." She looked at me lovingly and replied, "Shiyashi, you need to go deposit a little bit of cornmeal on the ground. Your account is running low. You haven't been praying much. When you go and make this deposit, though, do it at dawn, when the holy people are watching. And when you do it, close your eyes real tight. Raise your hand to the east and pray for the ones you love. Raise your hand to the east and pray for the ones you hate. Do this, Shiyashi, and I promise you, the return on your investments will be staggering. For one prayer to the holy people can change the entire world, Janneh. Just like one kernel of corn has the potential to feed an entire nation." But Shiyaji, you have to remain accountable to your shareholders, the ones who made you who you are today. Sisna Jene, Tsondil, Doko Slid, the Benitza, Four Sacred Mountains. All those, Don't forget who gave you all of this. Out there, they're playing a game. It's a game called profit maximization. And in this game, no matter how hard you play or for how long, you never win. We play games out here in the desert too, But we don't play that game. We play a game called Be Generous. And the interesting thing about this game is that the more I win, the more you win. And the more you win, the more he wins. And the more he wins, the more she wins. And the more we win, the more our children win. And the more our children win, the more their children win, and so on. Selflessness, the mark of advanced intelligence. Compassion, the mark of advanced civilization. Joy, the reason for human life. In this game, nobody loses. Now I know what you're going to ask next, Shiyaji. You're going to ask, how are we going to get everyone else to play our game and stop playing that game that's killing the world? Well, the answer is simple. When they point the gun barrel at you and your family, don't point a gun back at them. Just keep singing. Keep singing your song of love. Only then will they lower their weapons and sing with you.